Hello and welcome to TTV News with some latest events in TayNinhTV province and across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, on the afternoon of December 5th, the Provincial Youth Council held a question and answer session at its 16th meeting, the 10th term. The session was co-chaired by Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, member of the Party Central Committee, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, and Chairman of the Provincial Youth Council, and Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thi, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, Standing Vice Chairwoman of the Provincial People's Council.
The delegate requested that relevant authorities develop a plan to manage and handle administrative violation evidence appropriately, and currently the Provincial Police Department is holding for 18,219 pieces of evidence on violating vehicles that have exceeded the temporary detention period, and these items have been held for too long without claimants and causing degradation and damage and loss of their value, and making it impossible to sell and recover the state funds and relating to the waste of the confiscated assets. In response to the issue raised, the leaders of the Department of Finance and the Provincial Police Department stated that, in addition to implementing decisive measures to handle evidence and vehicles involved in administrative violations, they recommended that the government reassess the impact of Decree No. 29 dated on the March 5th of 2018 of the authorities' procedures and handling of administrative violation evidence and vehicles. And it is because administrative violation and evidence and vehicles should not be treated the same as other state-owned assets in order to develop an appropriate mechanism for handling them when replacement decree is issued. And they also recommended that the Ministry of Justice issue a document to guide the handling of temporary detained vehicles to ensure the enforcement of administrative penalty decisions without the need for coercion, particularly when the penalty decision has exceeded its enforcement period. And furthermore, the Ministry of Finance needs to amend and issue a circular to replace Circular No. 57 dated on July 5th of 2018, which guides the implementation of certain provisions of Decree No. 29 and Circular No. 173 till November 20th of 2013, which provides instruction on managing and handling temporarily detained or confiscated evidence and vehicles in administrative procedures in order to guide the consistent and specific handling of these assets, re-empowering the competent authorities to process the confiscated assets.
On the morning of December 5th, the Southern Working Committee of the Vietnam Women's Union held an online seminar titled Sharing Experiences in Connecting and Supporting Startups for Women in Southern Provinces and Cities. Attendees at the venue included the chairwoman and vice chairwoman of the women's unions from district, towns, and city. During the event, participants listened to the reports and discussions sharing their achievements and experiences in connecting and supporting women to start a business from various provincial and city women's unions. Additionally, representatives from the Institute for Social Life Research and the Vietnam Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or VCCI, in Ho Chi Minh City, presented two specialized reports on supporting startups for women. The seminar aimed to share experiences in supporting women to start businesses and develop enterprises, propose solutions to overcome limitations and challenges, and provide a foundation for advancing the Vietnam Women's Union on effectively continuing its support activities for women to start a business from 2025 to 2030. According to the Department of Transport, in November 2024, transport, warehousing, and support services in the province achieved positive results.
Specifically, revenue from transport, warehousing, and support services in November was estimated at over 410 billion Vietnam dong and 2.09% increase compared to the previous month, and impressive for 12.59% increase compared to the same period last year. And it shows that the demand for cargo and passenger transport in the province continued to rise, and passenger transport revenue reached over 147 billion Vietnam dong, up to 19.79% compared to the same period. Meanwhile, the cargo transport revenue reached 445 81 billion Vietnam dong and up to 9.50% year-on-year. In terms of transport volume, the November saw that the 2,623 million passengers transported and a 2.93% increase from the previous month. And for cargo transport, an estimate of 1,741 million tons of goods were also transported in November, an increase of 1.45% compared to the previous month.
Ladies and gentlemen, for many years, cassava in TayNinh has been severely affected by leaf mosaic disease, with a shortage of disease research. The demand for disease-resistant cassava is insignificant. Along with connecting farmers with cassava processing factories, this collaboration is essential to ensure stable supply and demand, contributing to the sustainable development of the cassava industry. In recent years, the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has worked with local and international organizations to experiment with and select cassava varieties that are resistant to disease like leaf mosaic, including varieties such as NH1, NH3, NH5, and NH36, among others. In May 2024, TayNinh Agricultural Extension Center implemented the project, building a new cassava seedling production model linked with processing factories in TayNinh, covering 30 hectares with 20 hectares dedicated to seedling production in Tân Châu district. Recently, the center held an interim evaluation of the project. The cassava seedlings planted in the model have shown positive results, with no signs of leaf mosaic disease and the tuber yield meeting expectations. Mr. Lê Trường An, a long-time cassava grower from Tân Hội Commune, Tân Châu district, was chosen to plant a demonstration plot of 5 hectares of NH1 cassava. Like other participating households, he received 50% support for seed costs and plant protection chemicals and 60% support for fertilizers, with the remainder covered by the farmers. To date, the cassava seedlings have developed very well, with no signs of leaf mosaic disease, good drought resistance, and the yield meeting the required standards. NH1 grows strong and tolerates drought well, even though it's lacking water compared to traditional varieties. This cassava doesn't show any leaves like others. It has a higher yield. This variety can produce about 40 tons per hectare. HN1 is free from leaf mosaic disease. When linked with a factory, it's easier to sell directly without going through middlemen. Throughout the project's implementation, the Agricultural Extension Center sent staff to closely monitor the growth of the new cassava varieties at demonstration sites. The center also organized training sessions for farmers and held forums to connect cassava growers with representatives from cassava processing factories. These activities have formed strong links between businesses and farmers, creating a sustainable reduction consumption processing chain for the future. The NH1 variety is resistant to leaf mosaic, so it grows well. The investment costs are relatively low compared to some local varieties, while the yield and quality of the tubers are higher. With this linkage program, farmers can sign contracts directly with the factories, ensuring more stable initial prices. Additionally, when contracts are managed by the state, the starch content and impurities in the cassava will be better controlled and more transparent. Cassava is a key crop in TayNinh, with an annual planting area of around 60,000 hectares and a total output of over 2 million tons of tubers per year. If disease-free cassava seedlings are provided in time to meet the demand, the tuber yield will increase. TayNinh has 68 cassava processing factories with a total capacity of 6.4 million tons of tubers per year, meaning the demand for raw materials is still very high. If there is a link between production and consumption, the cassava industry will develop more sustainably. Many local farmers are hopeful about the project and are eager to use the disease-resistant NH1 cassava variety from this model. At the beginning of 2023, Mr. Tuấn started a new venture on a 1,000 square meters plot of former rubber plantation land. He built a greenhouse to grow cherry tomatoes with a new disease-free variety. He then expanded by constructing an additional 1,000 square meters greenhouse to grow cantaloupe. All of these models use modern farmer techniques following VGAP standards to improve production efficiency and ensure the safety of quality of products, meeting market demands. Currently, the cherry tomato garden, with 3,300 vines, has harvested 2 crops with an average yield of 4 to 6 tons per crop. The cantaloupe farm, with 2,400 vines, has reduced resistance of roots, averaging 3 to 4 tons per season. The products are sold through agreements with state suppliers or under contracts with supermarkets, with prices ranging from 80,000 to 120,000 Vietnam dong per kilogram. At these prices, the grower is able to make a good profit. The audience, unlike other fruits, green skin red fruits bears fruits year-round, with prices varying depending on the time of year, and it always has a market, bringing profit to the growers. With just over a month until the Lunar New Year 2025, the supply of red fruits for the decoration is expected to increase, and many orchards are ready to meet consumer demand.
And Missy Voting of Dow's family is currently cultivating for 1.5 hectares of green skin grapefruit in Nam Trại Hamlet, Trung Tâm Commune Hòa Thân Thao. For over 8 years, the grapefruit orchard has been bringing the economic benefits to her family. On the average, the orchards yields more than 30 tons of fruit with a strong sales concentrated around the 30th, starting from the 5th day of the 5th lunar month. Missy Dow's begin to harvest the fruit, and after 8 months, the red fruit ripens and just in time to meet the consumer demand. This year, due to the heavy rainfall and storms, some fruit has dropped, resulting in a reduced yield compared to the previous year, but the estimate is still over 20 tons. Around the 30th, the traders come to buy. For example, if my orchard looks good, they will buy a higher price, but if it's not as good as possible, the price will be lower. And the red fruit I have now is ready for the 30th. The 30th is the main season, while the rest of the year, the yield is smaller and sales are less frequent. Missy Dow's red fruit orchard is always favored by traders around the 30th, who placed orders at an average price of about 26,000 Vietnam dong per kilogram. And Missy Dow's mentioned that after covering the cost, her family earns nearly 200 million Vietnam dong each year from the orchard. And red fruit orchards not only provides income for her family, but also raise up for many others also. In recent years, the women members of the union and the red fruit orchard owners are actively participate in the movement, as well as in its excellent economic production at home. It not only provides income for their family, but also raise jobs for many other workers who can earn additional income outside of the regular working hours, helping the women's union members achieve more stable economic conditions and actively participate in local union activities. Green skin red fruit in Trung Dong has brought economic benefits to local people, including the women members of the union, and helping them earn a steady income and stabilize their lives, contributing to a brighter Tết season.
Turn to domestic news. Despite global economic instability, Vietnam has witnessed strong growth in foreign direct investment or FDI, with actual FDI inflows reaching a record high of $23.2 billion in 2023, surpassing the previous record of $22.4 billion in 2022. As of October 2024, total implemented FDI increased by 8.8% compared to the same period last year, reaching $19.6 billion, marking the highest level in the past 5 years. According to the economic experts, a bright spot in recent FDI attraction in Vietnam is the country's growing FDI activities in the semiconductor and artificial intelligence sectors. According to information from the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, from December 9 to 11, the Ministry will collaborate with UN Tourism and the Guangdong Province Service Committee to organize the first international conference on rural tourism and the second annual meeting of the Best Tourism Villages Network by UN Tourism in Hoi An, Guangdong Province. The event will attract attention from the global tourism community as well as domestic and international media. This is a golden opportunity for Vietnam's tourism industry to promote the image, brand, and especially the potential and strengths of rural tourism in Vietnam to international friends. According to data from the General Department of Customs, as of November 15, the export turnover reached $352.38 billion, nearly matching last year's total and an increase of 14.8% compared to the same period in 2023. Notable contributors include computer, electronics and cabinets, machinery, equipment and parts. Additionally, textiles, goods and good products also saw double-digit growth.
The Deputy Prime Minister Lê Thanh Long has just signed decision number 43 from the Prime Minister on accelerating human resource training for the semiconductor industry and several core digital technology sectors. Accordingly, the Prime Minister has tasked the Ministry of Education and Training with the urgently developing and issuing a training program standards for semiconductor microchips, and additionally, the Ministry is required to research, propose and implement a model for linking the training of human resources in the semiconductor industry and core digital technologies between the government, educational institutions and businesses, create a favorable environment for enhancing international cooperation in training high-quality human resources, exchanging experts and specialized lectures in the fields of semiconductor, microchips and the core digital technologies at a higher education institution.
Ladies and gentlemen, despite global market fluctuations and adverse production impacts, rice export this year is expected to exceed both the revenue and volume targets. Contrary to predictions, domestic supply has been sufficient to help rice export revenue reach 8 million tons by the end of November. The RM18 rice fields in Tokno District, Cần Thơ City recently recorded a successful summer-autumn harvest with stable purchase prices above 7,000 Vietnam dong per kilogram. Last year, the summer-autumn rice was sold at a lower price, around 6,000 to 7,000 Vietnam dong, but this year, the price exceeded 7,000, reaching up to 8,000 Vietnam dong. In short term, the birthplace of the best rice variety, ST25, the season ended with a good harvest and high prices. Last year, the price was just 8,500 Vietnam dong per kilogram, but this year it has risen to 11,000 Vietnam dong per kilogram. This year, we are sure to exceed 8 million tons. India has reopened its rice export market, but the price of 5% broken rice has been impacted. However, in the high-quality rice value chain, we are still able to maintain relatively good prices. However, the global rice market in 2024 is expected to experience fluctuations in both production and demand, along with changing policies from leading rice exporting countries. Thanks to the flexible solutions in direction and management by relevant authorities, the value and volume of rice exports have increased. The Prime Minister's directive on ensuring national food security and promoting sustainable rice production and export has provided essential guidance for the entire industry to focus on production, stabilizing domestic rice prices, and opening up export markets. And that's all for today's TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.